All right, it is about 43 minutes past the hour, and Fox News alert. Reports now surfacing that Iran's cutting all communications with the U.S. The White House is reacting to those reports, saying this: the Iranian regime has until 8 p.m. Eastern time to meet the moment and make a deal with the United States. Only the president knows where things stand and what he will do.
Earlier today, though, Sandra, President Trump giving his most dire threat yet to the regime, writing, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again."
In moments, Brent Sadler will weigh in on the major threats from President Trump as the clock nears zero on a potential peace deal. But first, to our chief foreign correspondent, Trey Yingst. He's tracking the latest regional developments. He's live from Tel Aviv for us at this hour. Hello, Trey.
Sandra, good afternoon. The clock is ticking just over 6 hours until the deadline laid out by President Trump for the Iranian regime expires. The president warning of severe consequences if an agreement is not reached. And it comes after new strikes conducted by U.S. jets overnight targeted Iran's Kharg Island. This is an island responsible for 90% of Iran's crude oil exports. We understand amid those dozens of strikes, Fox's Jennifer Griffin reports bunkers were targeted, radar stations, and ammunition storage. U.S. officials say landing docks were not intentionally targeted. As this moves forward, we expect more strikes to continue against the Iranian regime tonight. Now, the IRGC has warned it will target U.S. oil interests in the region and make it so that the United States and its allies will be deprived of Middle East gas for years. The president speaking yesterday from the White House about the situation.
Do I want to destroy their infrastructure? No. It will take them 100 years to rebuild. Right now, if we left today, it would take them 20 years to rebuild their country, and it would never be as good as it was. And the only way they're going to be able to rebuild their country is to utilize the genius of the United States of America.
As it relates to the negotiations, the president told me over the weekend that Iran isn't even negotiating anymore about their nuclear program. He said, quote, "The big thing is they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They're not even negotiating that point. It's so easy," the president added. That's already been conceded. Most of the points are conceded. With talk of diplomacy, we're also learning more about the daring rescue that happened over the weekend to save a stranded U.S. airman in Iranian territory. High-level U.S. sources told Fox News that while the airman rescue was ongoing, CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper directed a strike on an IRGC headquarters in an underground facility near Tehran. That strike was conducted with B-2 bombers using bunker buster bombs, the same weapons used during Operation Midnight Hammer. We also have some new video for you, Sandra. I want to show you here. These are images out of Iran today where Iranian regime officials sent civilians to the streets of their country around nuclear power plants and energy infrastructure, forming human chains with women and children right next to the facilities, following the threats from President Trump to target those facilities. We should note this is a war crime under international law to use human shields on the battlefield. Moving forward, the Iranians are expected to continue these conversations in the hours ahead with U.S. negotiators. But again, just about 6 hours, and we will find out more information from the president as to whether or not a diplomatic option is prevailing or he's going to move forward with those strikes against Iranian energy infrastructure. Sandra?
We are watching for any and all updates. Trey Yingst live out of Tel Aviv for us. Trey, thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.